Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, before we do start, let us give a brief little review. In the last part, a number of events have happened. We had Deku, and we also had Bakugo and Todoroki. Now, Deku and Todoroki were in town trying to establish a base inside the city. And Izuku, he has plans, a few ideas. They need a map of the city so they can properly mark off where certain people are and where they see certain lights. Now, that would be a very difficult task to do. They can try and make a map on their own, but if they do that, it will be complicated. Just what they do understand and what they have. I mean, it'll take time. And then there also is Bakugo. Bakugo, he was not at the base. In fact, he was the ride. He came the next morning to pick those two up just to make sure that the base was secure. They stayed the night there and saw that there was somebody not too far away. Just down the road, in fact. And whenever Deku tried to greet their quote unquote neighbors, they held a gun to the door and did not say a word because they feared what exactly that was on the other side, pretending to be a person. Now, with that being said, let us pick up 2 weeks later. Now, Momo has been going through her library, finding what information they can and cannot use. And so far, there's a lot of information that has been put to the side. She's still going further and further through it. However, some of the stuff she has found could potentially be useful. And there also is May, who has not only tested the sound grenades, but has found out that they do work. And it has definitely been good. Deku, he has a plan. Right now, May wants to get more and more resources, and she wants to get the idea of a homemade crucible off of the ground. They just need to gather some supplies, and if they also can, gather more food. They have a plan to use flashlights and head out to the store they saw, Deku and Nedre. Now, Nedre is on board to head to this location, even potentially bring a second car so they get there safely and can pack up an entire car full of resources if they hit the mother lode. Those stores should have plenty of food. I mean, think about it. In the first oncoming days of the apocalypse, they'd want to stock up. People would be there and the place would just be swarmed with infected. So, while it is a good idea to head there, it's also bad because it could potentially be, well, swarmed with zombies. Now, the idea is simple. They use a rope and tie a sound grenade to a lamppost. They anchor it up high and make sure it can keep the infected's attention. If they're lucky enough, anything inside that store will be more focused on the sound than them. And that currently is going through a few of their minds. Now, Deku, he does his own stand there. Him checking over his gear and make sure that he does have everything. Right now, him getting ready to leave. He has his handgun and some bullets in the pouch on his belt. He's got a knife on his belt, as well as his holster. And then he does also have his assault rifle, or his AR rifle. Now, Deku, he also does have a spear, and he does think about a few more things. He wants to take a bow and arrow. However, it would be too bulky, especially if they're supposed to be looting and going for things. Though, the spear should be the only weapon they need to use. Here's the hope, though. If they do run into something troublesome, that means it saw them. And Izuku has already had the ideas go through his mind. And there currently is Bakugo. Bakugo also is suiting up. And he has been concerned. He tried talking to Denki about his drinking, but he didn't listen. He just tried to shrug him off and give him the sob story. He went back home. He saw his parents dead. He's got it. He knows it sucks, but he saw he saw his own mother and he had to put her down. So that is no fucking excuse. He gets it. He can't use that excuse. He just can't. Now, Bucko, he does a look up, and he does see Denki staying there with his hair messed up and a shirt on. Him actually does a turn, seeing Kendo and Jiro packing up the car. And Bucko, he does a walk over, bringing his hand up on Kendo's arm as she's a turn. Him going to express to her. He's going to need her to stay behind. Excuse me? Yeah, either you or Jiro. One of the two. What are you talking about? I want us to take Denki. Why Denki? It's the morning, he's sober, and I want to teach him a bit of a lesson. Her gonna turn and look up at Jiro, who is on the other side. Her currently putting a bag under the seat that is empty. And she does also look up. What's up? Right now her hair tucked under a beanie and somewhat sticking out, since she did just cut it a few days ago, because it was getting a bit too long. Then again, it's not really her style. In fact, she wanted to go shorter. With the fact that it might be getting cold soon, she wanted to keep some of it. They might not be leaving the mansion, and that is still to be decided, whether or not it would be a good idea. Now, Bakugo, he does a turn to her, giving her the rundown. And Jiro, she's nervous about going on this mission, but just letting Denki do it? Not a good idea. Definitely not. I mean, the idiot likes to make jokes and break tension. It's been good at times and shitty other times, but him, maybe it could help him teach him a lesson. Right, sure. But if the dumbass gets killed, Bakugo, it's on you. Fine. Bakugo gonna turn and yell that Denki should probably get dressed, since Jiro's gonna stay behind. Now, Bakugo does a turn back to her, talking about how fake some sort of problem and make it look convincing. Now, Jiro does a turn looking at Bakugo, her bring up her middle finger and telling him not to tell her what to do. And Bakugo, he has a turn walking away. As Deku, he does come walking out. He had to say goodbye to Ochako. He didn't want to think things can go wrong, but he knows things might. I mean, they're dealing with a lot of unknowns, and he doesn't like that. He'd rather them just go one at a time, maybe, to the store, sneak things off little by little, but a massive amount at once. It's the best idea they have. If winter does roll around and gets harsh, they could lose a bit. They've already been trying to collect resources and tarps to try and set up a place for their farm. A way to make sure that stuff can stay warm enough in case shit gets bad. I mean, they've already taken a few barrels and opened them up for the rain. So, there's that. There's definitely that. Now, Deku, he does it a walk over and get in the car. Right out Jiro walking up the stairs and someone holding onto her stomach. As Deku does try to ask if Jiro's okay. To which Denki would try to explain, making a crack that it's probably that time of the month for her. And this is where Kendo does a turn to him. Her still going to smack him on the arm. And Denki does a turn. Ow. What? I'm not wrong, am I? You know, you really should grow up. Whatever. So what are we doing? Denki, we're heading out to the store. Listen, You've gone on a few runs before, but this is different. As far as we know, we might be dealing with dogs or spiders. So, if we have to deal with any of them, let's try to be careful. Right. Okay, no. I got it, but do we have spears, arrows, bows? What do we have then? There should be a spear in the bed of the truck. You can probably get it whenever we get out. But right now, I suggest you be ready. How was your aim? Bucko turning, as Deku does begin to drive away. Now, everyone, they do head into the city, them parking the car at the safe house. And Deku, he does start to get a few things put together. Him and Kendo going to walk down the road because they'll set up the sound trap. Make sure everything is good there. And then, hopefully, they can bring over the truck and not make a lot of noise. Though, they should have about an hour, maybe 2 hours. The battery life on this thing is, well, they don't know. It should be a good amount of time. Maze only tested them for short durations, and extensive long-term testing would require it to be tied up somewhere and left for them to witness. So this definitely is good. So a full charge battery should be fine. Now, Deku, him and Kendo are walking, and she does try to talk to him, trying to ask him about how things are with Ochako. Hmm? Oh, yeah, no, things are fine. Are they? Yeah, yeah. She she's a nice girl. I know she is. She she said that she did like you. I know. Me and her did kiss not too long ago. Really? Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was nice, but she did taste like vodka. Her lips tasted like vodka, or her mouth? Hey, okay, no, no. Her lips tasted like vodka. Though I did get a sip of her drink. Ooh, isn't that nice? So, how do you think that that will work? Hmm? How what will work? I'm just saying, Ochako. She she's not really a part of the leadership. So far, it's me, you, Bakugo, and Todoroki who make decisions. Mei follows along, but she could easily just give us orders. Hey, I need this. Head out to the junkyard. Hey, I need this. Head out to the scrap yard. And Deku, he also don't turn directly to Kendo, since that idea completely slipped his mind. Where they can get junk metal. I mean, if Mei does make a crucible, holy hell. Now, Deku, he has his own turn. Him pulling off of his backpack and grabbing his notebook. Him writing that down for possible locations they can get something at. And Kendo would see Deku do that. Him currently bringing up his pencil and biting the end of it, as he does try to think of another location. Okay, so the junkyard, shopping center, malls, hero agencies, question mark next to it. And then there's also stores nearby. And it does pose the question. And Kendo does try to ask him, whenever they do get back to moving, about Bakugo and what he's really like. Hmm? Bakugo? A bit of an asshole, I guess. Though that's hard to really say. He's always been the way he is. Hasn't really changed since when we were kids. Huh. Yeah. The two walking up. And Deku does ask the question. Is she interested in Bakugo? No, no. Well, we've had a moment where he just didn't seem like this guy. I'm not sure what to say about it. Me and him are becoming friends, I guess, but still a bit of a douche. He is a hard ass. Don't take it personally. Them going to get to the store. And Deku, he does continue the conversation. Him pulling out the rope as he also has to pull out the grenade. And things are a bit easy. They use a hook and hang it from the line. And then they do gonna turn it on and he does gonna move backwards quickly. Deku pulling it up to the top as right now the two they do go to back away. And Deku, he does a turn. Him gonna actually tell Kendo what to do. Her gonna look around for something that they can tie the end of the rope to. And she does gonna run over to a car. Her gonna actually grab at the door and unlock it, or open the unlocked door. Her gonna actually try looking in the back seat. We're gonna turn back to the front seat. Her gonna reach her hand out and pull down the handbrake as she's gonna push the car forwards after she puts it in drive. And that does allow her to move the car over to Izuku. Her pushing it as Deku, whenever she does gonna get right up to him, he does gonna turn, tying this into the door as Kendo does sit back down in the car and put on the emergency brake. And Deku, he just don't stand there. As there actually is where Deku does hear a sound and turn his head. Right now him seeing in the distance as two of the dogs are there. And Deku, the moment he only sees two, he has an issue with that. And he does begin to back away. One of the dogs sitting there. As one of them do bring up this strange looking appendage. Them getting... What is that? I'm going to turn to Kendo. And she does get stare on. Her backing away as well. And then Deku, he sees the one thing he doesn't want to see. The third one jump up on a car. I'm going to turn, bring his hand up as him and Kendo do get a run. And the moment they do so, there is the sound of their footsteps. And then the fact that they're moving faster. And the three dogs, two of them do get a jump down. As the alpha, he does a howl out with a scream. It's guttural, visceral, and bloodthirsty. And right now it does a run on top of the roof of cars. As the other two, they run in between underneath it. Now, Deku, he doesn't bring his hand up. Him grabbing his radio and going to talk about it. Bring the radio up to his mouth. They set the bomb, but they have a problem. Dogs! Now, Deku and Kendo, they do begin to run. And Bako, the moment he hears Deku panic on the other end, he turned on the truck and threw it straight into drive. Denki, in the passenger seat, trying to ask Bako a few questions. Especially since he's seen a picture of his family. And Denki, he was thrown backwards in the seat whenever Bako slammed down the accelerator. Now, Deku and Kendo, the two are currently running. And Izuku, he has a turn, bolting into an alleyway and looking around. Him going to see a dumpster and then a fire escape. Him tapping on Kendo as it's a turn. Him running over and jumping up onto the dumpster. Right now, him climbing up and going to turn, Kendo bring her hand out. I'm going to pull her up as he does going to do one thing. He looks up at the fire escape. I'm going to ask Kendo if he throws her up there if she can reach it. And lower it down. Her turning and nodding at Deku. As he is a bend down and grab her by the legs. I'm going to turn and pick her up as she does try and reach her hand up. Her actually grabbing onto the bar as she's trying to get ready. Her actually asking Deku to get her up higher. And Deku, he's going to push her up over his head. Right now, him happy about that home gym at Momo's place. Now, Deku, she does gonna get up above him. Her gonna climb up the ladder and gonna turn. Her looking for a few things as she does get turned to her back. Since it may not get down. And Deku, he has a turn. Right now, him going to stare at one of the dogs as they're around the corner. Deku going to turn and bring up his gun as it does begin to move forwards. And Deku, he does a stare at it. However, the moment he does it to fully face it, it does get a stop. Him holding up the weapon as Kendo does go to lower down a piece of rope. Her going to get ready. Now, Kendo, she does could actually have this rope lie limp on the fire escape. Her ring over to the other end and looping the rope underneath and over the railing. As she does gonna get ready. Her yelling at Izuku that there's something to grab. And Deku here's a watch when the other dogs come running up. It gonna actually run forwards as Deku. He has a turn. Or the other dog gonna wait for the alpha. And the alpha, it does gonna ring out. As the moment it does, Deku's climbing up as one of the dogs go leaping up into the air. It smashed down into the trash can as it smashed down into the plastic lid. A little too hard. It having its hind legs fall through the front and denting into it. It hitting its face on the top as it does snarl out and then try to jump up. Right now it going to try and grab Deku as it does grab Deku by his pant leg. And Deku, he does immediately hold onto the ladder and turn. Him going to pull out his gun and bring it down, blasting into it as he doesn't have a gunshot ring out. And there currently was Bakugo. Bakugo, yeah, he was not having fun. And the moment he had come to drive up in the area where the grenade was, he saw the zombies underneath it trying to get it. And there actually was Denki. Denki was staring on. Him seeing the zombies with all of their hands extended, along with even seeing a spider holding up its mouth-shapen limbs. And that, it definitely was a bit disgusting to Denki. Though, he does have his eyes widen. Him staring at something that's got its hands up in the crowd. It looks like a regular infected, but it's not looking at the grenade, is it? And right now Bakugo, he has to actually drive forwards. Denki turning his head after hearing a gunshot. Now, Deku, he does actually get to turn back over the dog, let go of its grip on his leg. And he does actually climb up the ladder as the dogs, they are sitting there. Right now them watching one of their own wounded and injured. And Deku, he has actually looked down, seeing that the dog is on the ground. Him watching it lie in the dumpster with the wound in its shoulder. And Deku, he has to turn back to it. Him going to bring up his pistol and aim directly at the head. Though, he has just won't sit there. Before staring down, it's an infected, it's injured. He already shouldn't have fired one shot at it. They were trying to get away without wasting ammo. These things are too fast. The opportunity to kill it now is... It's right here. Damn it. No, Izuku, don't waste a bullet on it. It's already fucked up. Someone else might get it. Then on his mind, Deku going to actually lower his gun and then turn to his leg, pulling back his pant leg and seeing the... Damn. Did he get you? Yeah, it did. Though I'm fine. The thing's bite wasn't too bad. I'm just glad it didn't get me with its claws. Her actually going to start to turn and point it down at Deku's pants, talking about it. Okay, so he's gonna want to roll over. And Deku, he does gonna do so. Her asking if that was a joke about the dogs. And she does actually bring her hand up. Her going to bring it up over a cut on the back of Deku's leg. And she does try to talk about it. Okay, he needs to head back. Huh? What do you mean? I'm fine. You're bleeding. Your adrenaline's high. Oh, God. We should have something to clean you off back home. okay? We'll handle this. Just get home and be safe. Now, Bucko, he does come pulling up to the alleyway. Him looking down and seeing dogs, as he's actually turned right and into it. As right now, he has a drive down the alleyway and the dogs are scared away. Then I'm going to turn and leave their alpha behind. Now, Bucko, he has to turn his head seeing that thing laying on a dumpster. Before he does actually look at the rope and guide up. Those two dumbasses. I'm going to roll down the window, asking if they'd like a lift home. Now, Kendo does actually somewhat going to turn, talking about how Deku, he's injured, and his leg is bleeding. And Bako, he does have a smile fade. Him opening the door and asking if he's fine. Him can actually turn, looking at the dog, which does try to get back up. However, it cannot get up on its left hind limb. And Bako, he has a turn, walking over to the bed of the truck and grabbing one of the spears out. I'm going to walk over and dig down the spear into this thing's head. As he is going to pull it out, and they're going to tell them it's safe to come down. And Ronald Denki does sit there in the passenger seat, as he does get out himself. Him going to look around and make sure that they're okay. Him looking back the way they came and seeing something. What was that? Bakugo? What is it? I think there's something after us. It's probably the other dogs. They won't attack us. Their alpha's dead. You sure about that? Pretty sure they only attack in packs of threes. Bakugo turning back, as right now Deku is trying to climb down the ladder. And whenever Deku is going to get down, Bakugo talks about it. He's in the back seat. And Izuku doesn't really say anything. Them getting back in and driving back to the store. And Bakugo talks about it. Things will be fine. Though, get him back to the safe house and just head back. That being what Deku does say. And Kendo does a turn, asking him if that's really a good idea. It'll be fine. Just take me there, drop me off. It's not that far away. I can walk if I need to. No, you can't. Fine, Kendo. Just drop me off and head back. You guys don't know how long that thing will last. Well, they're reusable if we can collect them, but you already have to set up another one if you might. That'd already be too wasted, and we don't know whenever the infected will disperse. Alright? Head back. Take me to the safe house and go to the store. Alright? Fine. Jesus. Bakugo pulling up to the house. And Deku, he's helped out by Kendo. Her currently helping Deku as his leg is elevated. Him somewhat hopping his way into the door. And Deku, while he's doing that, Denki's still looking around. A bit paranoid about the infected. Him looking into the rearview mirror and not seeing anything. Though there's a lot going through his mind. A lot of shit that's been happening. And it does worry him. Now, with that being said, everybody does go to leave. And Deku, he is left here with some supplies. Currently, him wrapping up his leg and going to actually pour the alcohol on the slash. Him going to bite down on something. As after Deku's going to do that, he has a turn. Him going to actually down a gulp of it as he does somewhat have his throat burn. Him then going to wrap his leg up in a bandage and make sure that it is actually tight. Now, Deku, he does have to get up. Him currently going to do a few things. Though this does give him an idea. There's a few places that they can head to. I mean, a few things that they can do. may already had the idea to take batteries out of cars and take car parts. I mean, if they had to a mechanic shop, could they find a tow truck? It could be useful. I mean, even a semi. Those things run on diesel, so. Well, no, no, he doesn't know. He'll have to look that up. Damn it. Right, no internet. Okay, Izuku, just think. There's gotta be some valuable stuff on the trailers. Okay, so if it's a giant metal trailer, it should have something dry, maybe possible furniture that you can burn, maybe something valuable, something that could be useful, not edible though. Or no, 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 no. It could be they're just dry things, things that can last on the shelf for long, not milk, meat, cheese, anything like that. Though, if they do have those fans on them, it's possible that that's where those things are. Don't you have to refrigerate certain things? Hauling it all across Japan from wherever it comes from, you need that stuff to stay cold. Otherwise, it'll go bad. Okay, so Deku writing that down. As is a write down semi trucks with fans on their hauling containers. And Deku, he is having it go through his mind. A lot of things that they can do, a lot of things that can happen, a lot of things that can knock, knock, knock. And Deku, he doesn't want to look up. Him going to see that the door is barricaded and closed. And Deku, he's concerned. No one should have seen him come back, should not know he's here. He does have one idea. It could be the person from down the street. Hello? Deku hearing a voice. And it's a little bit more relaxing. Holy shit, that did scare him. Deku taking a breath, as he does a walk over and somewhat limp on the wall. Him asking them if they're out there. Yeah, hi. Listen, it's I I'm from down the street. Really? Yeah, yeah. Um I didn't open the door because of few things. You know, these things are getting smarter. Uh-huh. Listen, can you open up? They're out here with me. There's four of them. Listen, I'm out of bullets, okay? I'm just here to talk. Can I come in? I'm sure you're armed. I won't cause trouble. Deku going to stare at the door. Before he does bring his hands down. Him going to quickly begin to move, putting weight down on his injured leg and going to feel that. And Deku just going to pull the couch out of the way. Him going to actually unlock the door and then going to pull it open. The person going to step inside and bring up a knife, them stabbing it right into Deku's shoulder. And Deku, he does drop the gun. Him a lot more alarmed as he's pushed backwards into the ground and the person's a turn. Them immediately going to slam the door and lock it. As Deku, he doesn't have time to react. He doesn't back away. And the person, they just stare on, turning back to Deku. And Deku sees the familiar face. The person going to step over and bend down, grabbing their gun. And Deku just watch them put it up, pointing it at him. Nice to see you again, kid. You. God damn it. You know. Listen, nothing personal. I just want you to know I'm pretty damn hungry myself. It's not been easy. We can help you. Listen. Motherfucker, that hurts. This doesn't have to get ugly. Kid, I'm the one holding the gun. Sure you are. I get that, but listen, my friends are gonna be back at any time. They'll kill you. I can. We can help you. You're hungry? There's food in the other room. Okay? Listen, just. There's some trail mix, and. Well, you know. God damn it. Fine. Just. We'll have a drink. I'll have something to eat, and then I'll take you into them. Now, Izuku's confused. The person going to pull him to his feet as Deku, he doesn't make any sudden moves. Them pushing the cold steel right into his back. And Deku, he does it a walk into the room. The person beginning to help themselves to some of the food Deku did mention. And Izuku, he's not happy. The person sits there the entire time. Meanwhile, he sits here with his arm hurting with a knife in it. They're armed and he's not. And from what he's been experiencing these last couple months, he always likes having his peace with him. Now, Deku, he is told a few more things. He's turning them into the military. As far as he's aware, they need a lot of things. They're a bigger group. They need to talk to him. See what he might know. Run some tests on him, and after that's all said and done, they should let him go. Hmm? You're turning me into the military? Yeah. Listen. I don't want to. But they'll give me a week's worth of food for you. I know they'll do that. They've done it for some other people. Listen, I can trade you for supplies. I know that much. You're my bargaining chip, kid, and I know there's another group out there who will pay a hefty, hefty sum if I give you to them. Though I don't like dealing with the crazies. What are you talking about? You guys really do not travel into the city, do you? No, we try to avoid that. The person's staring at Deku, and they do to inform him. Okay. Then, they're gonna leave now. Though he does want him to ask, if he has a back door out of this place, because the front door is probably swarmed. And Deku, he does go to at least tell them. He'll show them the way. Then I'm gonna leave. And Izuku, he's not happy. Him being put in the driver's seat of a vehicle. And the person, they do go to sit in the back seat. Them with their gun pointed at Deku the whole time. And Izuku, he's got a lot going through his head. As currently, he does go to drive away. Now, we do actually cut back to the other group. Or the rest of them. Bakugo, Kendo, and Denki. And how these three are doing. Things were okay. Things were going great. They were using their flashlights, and they were inside the store. And, well, they were packing up. They began to get some of the food out. And Bako even found some stuff May had on her list for that damn crucible. So it might not be all bad. Until one thing happened. And something went boom. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. And to have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.